Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight's topic, I'm going to talk about diseases directly transmitted by rodents. Now, when we talk about rodents, there are different species of rodents. Ones that are very particular when it comes to infestation in the suburbs, country, or urban areas are rats and mice. But in this video, I'm going to get into mice very little, but I'm going to talk about rats because the rat was the species that caused the Black Plague or the bubonic plague during the Middle Ages that killed millions. Now, when it comes to rats, rat bites and scratches can result in disease and rat bite fever. Rat urine is responsible for the spread of leptospirosis, which can result in liver and kidney damage. It can also be contracted through handling of inhalation of scat. Now, complications include renal and liver failure as well as cardiovascular problems. Now, lymphocytic or lymphocytic choriomeningitis, known as LCMV, is a viral infectious disease. It's transmitted through the saliva and urine of rats. Now, some individuals experience long-term effects of lymphocytic choriomeningitis, while others experience only temporary discomfort. One of the most dangerous rat-borne illnesses is the bubonic plague, also called the Black Plague, and its variants. Transfer occurs when fleas from the rats bite human beings. Now, fleas transported on rats are considered responsible for this plague during the Middle Ages, which killed millions. Now, from the transmission of the bubonic plague to typhus and hantavirus, rat infestations can prove harmful to human health. That's right, rat infestations can be harmful to human health. Now, rats also are a potential source of allergens. Now, their droppings, dander, and shed hair can cause people to sneeze and experience other allergenic reactions or allergic reactions. Now, when it comes to diseases transmitted by rats fall into one or two categories. You have the diseases directly that are transmitted from exposure to rat feces. That's right, diseases transmitted directly from exposure to rat feces, urine, or bites, and diseases indirectly transferred to people by an intermediate arthropod vector such as fleas, ticks, or mites. While the following list of diseases or medical conditions are all associated with rats, most are not commonly encountered in the United States. Now, when it comes to diseases directly transmitted by rats, we have the hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. This is a viral disease that is transmitted by the rice rat. The disease is spread in one of three ways: inhaling dust that is contaminated with rat urine or droppings, direct contact with rat feces or urine, and infrequently due to the bite of a rat. Then you have leptospirosis. This is a bacterial disease that can be transmitted by coming into contact with infected water by swimming, wading, kayaking, or by contaminated drinking water. Now, individuals may be at increased risk of leptospirosis infections if they work outdoors with animals. And there's the rat bite fever. This disease may be transmitted through a bite, scratch, or contact with a dead rat. Then you have salmonellosis. That's the consumption of food or water that is contaminated by rat feces bacteria, which can cause a disease as well. Then you have the diseases indirectly transferred by rats. When we talk about the plague, this disease is carried by rats and transmitted by fleas in the process of taking a blood meal. Domestic rats are the most common reservoir of plague. Then there's the Colorado tick fever. This is a viral disease that is transmitted by the bite of a tick that has taken a blood meal from a bushy-tailed woodcat. That's right, let me repeat that again. The Colorado tick fever is a viral disease that is transmitted by the bite of a tick that has taken a blood meal from a bushy-tailed wood rat. Then you have the cutaneous leishmaniasis or maniasis. Now, this disease is a parasite that is transmitted to a person by the bite of an infected sandfly that has fed on a wild wood rat. Now, that's Cutaneous leishmaniasis. That's the pronunciation. Which, again, that's a disease that is a parasite that is transmitted to a person by the bite of an infected sandfly that has fed on a wild wood rat. Now, I'm repeating myself because a number of individuals don't take videos like this seriously, but you have millions of people each year who are infected by bites of sandflies, and they get Lyme disease by ticks. That's why I'm repeating myself so everyone gets this, because it is true that there's been many cases of West Nile virus, and I mentioned that last night in the video. Remember, repetition is the mother of all skill and teaching. Now moving on to the hantavirus. Now, some species of rats, as the cotton rat or rice rat, are known carriers of hantavirus. Nori rats and roof rats are not known transmitters of hantavirus. Victims may be debilitated and can experience difficulty breathing. Hantavirus is transmitted to humans when they inhale airborne particles from rodent droppings, urine, or carcasses that have been disturbed. The first symptoms of the virus can be mistaken for the flu. Patients then suffer breathing difficulties that may prove fatal if not treated effectively and immediately. Now, in order to avoid hantavirus, all mouse feces or fecal matter, nest materials, and dead rodents must be removed from the home. Spray suspected areas thoroughly with disinfectant before sweeping to avoid having anything become airborne. Use gloves to handle rodent carcasses or droppings, and a respirator must be worn with functioning cartridges. Buildings should be aired out following an infestation. Not all rodents have been found to carry hantavirus. However, everyone should use caution in dealing with rodents or rodent infestations and contact an exterminator or a pest control professional. And if you understand everything that is going on when it comes to rodents, you won't be afraid of them. Of course, when you first see them, it's going to give you a shock, because rodents, particularly rats and mice, eat just about everything in your house, and they drop fecal matter where they eat, and that's what gives you the disease. So I'm giving you my own experience because I've seen many of these critters when I was an exterminator in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, one of the ways too to catch mice and rodents, get good rat traps, glue traps, put them up in the cabinet, and take all of your dry goods such as flour and cornmeal, put it in plastic bags, because that's what they feast on. And make sure all of your food is stored in the refrigerator. Because if you're smart, you keep your house clean, and you understand the extermination process. That's right. If you understand the extermination process and you educate yourself with how nasty and disease transmitting that rodents are, you will be able to, number one, handle the problem yourself, And number two, if you can't handle the problem yourself, you'll seek help from an Orkin or Terminex. And the reason why I'm doing this video, because there are a number of people who have mice and other rodents, and they are pests. And you can hear them when you're sleeping. Because I know I've caught a few of them at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And you must handle them with care, because they do spread diseases. And some of these diseases, if not taken seriously, will become fatal. So the best way to handle rodents when they're dead is with care. And when they're alive, utilize glue bait traps, or the good old-fashioned rat traps or mouse traps. But again, once they die, make sure you protect yourself. Utilize your respirator and your gloves so you don't touch that mouse, because if you touch it with your bare hands, you're likely to get a disease. So be smart when handling all mice and rats. And if you don't like mice and rats, which most of us don't, again, call an exterminator. For a fee, they will get rid of the problem for you. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Hump Day, Wednesday, June 7th, 2017. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube, so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional, mature perspective. Now on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversy, or emotional issues, nor do I participate in drama and or unnecessary bickering. Why? Because it's counterproductive. My channel is for educational purposes only, and what I do is give you the information that I research along with my own personal experiences, because you need the tools in order to survive in the real world, because it's like a roller coaster. It fluctuates every day. And if you don't have the knowledge when the changes come, you're definitely not going to be prepared to handle the challenges. But everything you are getting on this channel is realistic but positive. Now, some might find this information boring. If you do, this is not the channel for you, because, like I said, I'm not into all the drama. I'm into giving information that is realistic, because if you live in the real world, you understand what's happening in the real world. So, if you want to come to this channel, I'll welcome you. Even if you don't subscribe, just take the information, listen to it, take what you agree with, discard what you don't agree with. But everything here is going to be positive and realistic, because knowledge is power. If you have a business, a topic, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And I like comments. So if you have a comment, please leave your comments in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy, no bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering, if you wish to opine. Now, that's it for this video. Till the next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other. Have a wonderful and blessed night. Good night.